Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Empires and Puzzles video. And as you can see, we are here with our war techs. It's Rush War, and I'm, for the first time, recording my commentary after. I thought it could be interesting to watch my hits in retrospect. So you can see me sizing up the flags and the points. We have the lead here. Chose my first team. Not the best rush team, but I really like these heroes together, so I'm gonna stick with this. And I was just trying to get this first team, or this pretty strong team, out of the way to try to reset the board for the rest of the team. So here's what we're up against. Pretty dangerous, but not the most offensive rush team. And not sure why I was staring at this for so long. I think I was just tired, which is why another reason why I didn't record my hits at the time. Okay. So this is an interesting first for me. So with this team, I'm avoiding the flanks, and my goal here is I'm fine with Bera firing. In fact, it makes my team better. So I'm intentionally setting her off while getting my 2 purple matches. And then from there, it's pretty much over. I've got these minions to give me more mana. And you can see I'm going to use Alfrike. And I think Lepiota first, because any surviving minions are going to give me more mana for free. So might as well utilize that resource. And by this point, you know, the match is won. I've got my yellows there already. Got pretty much all the team locked up. I've already got, looks like, 2.5 more tiles of mana. I think 3 minions is 2.4 tiles. So that's not going to be quite enough. If I had fired Sif first, then I think that would have been for Grimble at least, based on that increased mana effect. But yeah, this one was already won at this point. I took a bit of a risk in going with only 2 colors. That's usually not something that I like to do. However, with a Bera tank, there's a little bit less risk in rush attack. I got 1,500 damage thrown back at her. Crazy, because he had boosted health, so she did her extra damage. No revivers here. Just this evil season 4 cast waiting to meet their demise. So this was a bit of a tough war for me overall. Did not manage 6 one-shots, but I went for all Alfrike tanks after this because we needed to reset the board. So yeah, at this point, there's not really anything they can do to me. And then going for these last purples to take him out. All right, 1 down. Easy. So we reset the board, came back later on. You can see by now, we played this team a month ago in Rush, which is pretty interesting that we found them again in Rush, and we beat them by about 1,000 points then, and we had a pretty commanding lead at this point as well. So I could have had fun and gone for whatever teams, but I figured let's make sure we hold our lead. I'll take out some of these tough Alfrikes, so I'm just kind of sizing up the board here. And then looking at points, looking at emblems, all that kind of stuff. And choosing my next target. So I like the look of that 56 points. I figure I'll jump in here. And I have no recollection of what team I chose. But not the most dangerous team. You got a decent reviver on the left, which is a good side. We've got some taunt. Alfrike's pretty good. Defense down, and then some snipe potential with June, which is not the most dangerous rush team. So let's see what we choose. Yeah, it's weird doing the commentary after the fact like this because in the way I record it, there's some gaps here, and I'm like, yep, no idea what I was thinking at this moment, but let's find out. So I think I decided what team I wanted to use first, but I didn't want to use it there, so I'm looking at another target to get out of the way, is my recollection of what was happening here. Probably could have cut some of this out, but feel free to skip ahead to when the battle begins. And sorry if you can hear all this noise outside. They are painting today. Alright, so we're going anti-minion potential here. Mana control. Ailment protection, that redundancy that you want to have, at least my philosophy. I kind of see two prevailing philosophies against Alfrike. One is to always bring 3 yellows just in case you get them. Ideally, you can have a counter on those yellows like Gazelle or Poseidon or Gretel even in some cases. And then 2 other heroes, like a 3-1-1 thing where you have maybe like a Mickey and then, I don't know, Hansel or something, some other mana control kind of thing, Hell, whoever. My philosophy is I don't want to only rely on 3 colors if I can. In this case, I do only have 3 counters here. I've got Proteus, I've got Grazul, and I've got Lord Loki. I'm trying to get some utility out of my weaker Lord Loki, and then figure I'll bring Mother North, who's pretty tough just in case I lose Loki, because if I do lose him, that will screw up my potential. So don't recall if this was a win or a loss, but I don't see any big problems with this team. There's a lot of healing and survivability, but you know, things can go very different ways in Rush. So immediately I was like, crap, got a bunch of yellow and green, but I can make 2 blue matches, so that's what I go for. Seizing the opportunity to burn some tiles in the center since I know it's not going to set off Alfrike. And we get real crappy coverage, so now I'm thinking, okay, I need reds. So let's get our reds going. That'll give us a little protection. We can follow up with a diamond from Proteus, but Alfrike is happening, so getting ready for the big freeze afterwards here. So we survived it, but we are in a bit of a dire situation. And took that diamond to set off Albi. Gonna lock down the left side so they can't heal at all, and that's where a lot of my moves are. And then I think I'm gonna go for Mother North here, yeah. Take the opportunity to breathe some life back into my team. Very fortunate cascade there. And then we'll follow up with Alfrike again. So this is looking like a pretty clear win to me. Still got our minions active, so Queen of Hearts has no chance here. So yeah, this is how you want it to go. Basically, you need to get your big break in the beginning and then be able to string together enough to sustain that. So you get that early foothold with Alfrike, Proteus, Hell, Mickey, something like that, and then you capitalize on that brief moment you get to push things through to the next level. So a very small chance that Albi revives. I'm probably going to pop the diamond here. Nope, why am I going for Loki? Maybe I really want to kill Albi. Alright, so we lose Proteus, don't get him back. I think I used Queen of Hearts to try to kill the 2 of them over there, since she does a little bit of damage. Alright. Perfect time for the purple diamond, though we don't have Proteus alive. So I think that's going to be my priority. Maybe the red dragon over there. Get Mother North going. Nope. I think I would have done that differently. Tried to get Proteus back just to eliminate any possibility of Albi reviving. There we we go. Too little, too late. Alright, we got Taunt up, which is good. So if Alfrike does come back, it won't be as much of an issue. Taunt with ailment protection. Alright, but it didn't happen, so we're pretty much in the clear. I can throw some purples. Heal up, throw some purples into Magni. Or do something totally different. Oh, got the tile I needed anyways. And then it's just a matter of time. All right, 2 down. So I'm feeling pretty good at that point. Haven't had any significant challenges yet, and now I'm getting into the tougher teams here. And this is when it can go a little bit worse. So let's see. So I noticed something that I hadn't in the video demonstrating Malena, that Costume Justice is the highest conditional damage dealer in the game. I had been under the impression it was Costume Aslar, who I think is doing like 410, but she can do up to 450. So here's our next team. I'm going to build a similar type of team with some redundancy. So I've got my ailment blocker, I've got Taunt, and now I'm just thinking through what do I want my other counters to be. So Lord Loki is another great choice. And then I'm probably thinking Hell. And then depending on the team, I might need a healer. So obviously this is one of my best teams, best anti-Alfrike teams. So I've got 1 healer, potential for a 2nd healer. There's 2 targets I can copy. If I get greens, blues, reds, or purples, I'm gonna be off to a good start. But I seem to remember this not going very well. So let's try to see if we can spot where that happened. So right away, nothing. A very shuffled up board, and so I'm feeling a little nervous here. Don't even have the option of facilitating. I guess I could have facilitated a purple match on the left side there, but by that point I would have put 5 tiles into Alfrike with the potential for a blue cascade, so that's possible. Okay, it looks like that's what I deemed my only option to be. So now I've got to hit Alfrike with 3 more tiles, and if blues combo, I am in trouble. So wasn't able to beat it, probably lost that by about half a tile. I don't know what her mana troop was, but this might have been a situation where a level 29 troop did what a level 23 troop couldn't. So at this point, I'm kind of going, shit. I got one thing that I needed. I've got no other matches on the board. Might as well go down the middle, try to churn up as much as I can here. And it's just RNG about how many get hit. So 4 hits is just about worst case scenario. I'm still driving ahead. Okay, I've got Hansel, but it's looking pretty bad at this point. 2 key heroes are down to 50%, under 50% health. One of them barely hanging on. We've got Scotty lurking there, who with the attack up from Heimdall might be able to kill Lord Loki. And so that's probably who I'm going to use Hansel on, because if she fires, it's going to go downhill a lot faster. I think trying to stall a little bit more. This should be the last turn of Mindless Attack, so it won't reset that time. And so we'll get Hell going again. We're definitely going to freeze Scotty this time, or use Hansel on Scotty. And then now I'm going, should I need to heal? Let's get some blues. But 2 slash attacks coming in, and Loki didn't make it. So I'm down to a pretty weak rush attack healer. My key mana hero is suffering. So I think the biggest flaw of this team was the lack of healing. I was thinking, oh, with Lord Loki, I can copy healers, and then, even though he's at 18 emblems, he's now done for, and Garnet is just not solid enough in rush attack. So I'm up against the ropes here. It didn't help that Liz withstood the ailment. We got Leidenbrock about to start a boosted health spree, and Scotty is 100% going to kill Hell. So then we've got stacks. So I'm progressively losing health while they're progressively gaining it. So I think I'm just trying to see if I have any options here. Wanted to get her out of the way while Black Knight was going. But without much healing here, my damage potential is just far too low to be able to keep up with this. Oh yeah, we have Taunt, so that bought us a little bit of time. And then Reviver going off, more overhealing. There's just no way. Got only Hansel. So, gotta let this play out. But this was a pretty bad one. Everyone's at boosted health, so there's no reason to not try. Can't get worse than it is unless I let Heimdall go off. But I remember at this point realizing I'm pretty screwed. And she only's got a 30 to 35% chance to withstand, and that's already at least 2 in this match. So luck was really not on my side here, and I just don't think I planned quite well enough. Leidenbrock brings a new angle here, and that's why she's becoming really popular in rush defense, because that consistent overhealing when you're trying to focus on one threat at a time. Like, I fired Hell multiple times here, and look at this team still, so you really need a pretty high damage output to keep up with it. And I figured I'll cut my losses and move on. So it can be tricky to figure out what rush team to make, and I can relate to the temptation of wanting to have 6 heroes on your team because you can't decide. So this time, instead of Leidenbrock, because mine only has 11 emblems, I think, I opted for Mickey on the flank, because you just cannot stop his mana, and losing up to 3 heroes for 5 turns in rush attack is absolutely debilitating. So that was my choice. I think I got one-shotted twice, and then one time it took them longer. We'll review that part at the end, but yeah, we have a couple teams that have Mother North, Krampus, or Black Knight, Alfrike, Leidenbrock, and then Albi or Heimdall or Mickey on that right wing spot, and those seem to do pretty well. I think Leidenbrock is a very solid hero for rush attack, especially with that 20% boost to start on defense in particular. So just trying to size up which Alfrike I want to take at which time. This one seemed like a softer target to me, so I figured, what the hell? It's got Taunt on it, so there can still be some problems there. Yep, you're going to hear some people outside the window right now. So in this case, I took a chance and decided I'm going to go for 3 yellows here. I'm going to try what I've seen. If I get them, I can knock them down pretty easily with tile damage and blow up a bunch of heroes. And I do have a counter in Gazelle, and then I went with Mickey's really my only other counter. So I went a little soft this time around with only 2 Gazelle counter heroes and then a mana booster just to maybe help out, keep things rolling. So, let's see how it went. So, good to see some yellows here. I've got one match. I've got a combo potential in the middle, but that, if I combo the greens into the purples, even if I just make the purple match, it's going to combo the greens. So and if I do get the yellows that I'm trying to get, that's a lot of tiles into Alfrike. So I'm going to go with that guaranteed match first, see what it gives me. Okay, tried just the greens. Fortunately, didn't get it. Just one match short here from true wreckage. All right, we got it, and we got it into fog, which is good. No one's in snipe potential here. Alfrike hasn't gone off yet, so without a cascade, we're in good shape. So this is going to be just obliteration here. This combo, if you've seen my other video, is absolutely nasty. Ready? Bam. So she did survive. Alfrike's pretty tough, but we've got a follow-up match into her, fortunately. And another 1900 to 2000 damage there on the end. Killed him with off-color tiles. No revivers here. Just a matter of time. So perfect timing for Mickey. And we just need to make some yellow matches. And instead we get a yellow diamond. Heal up and end it. So bit of a risk there. It paid off. Probably not going to be a recurring rush team just because the risk is so high. But it is quite explosive, as you can see. Charged up again. So Pauline with that massive 1k hit on the super tough Krampus. All right, next up, let's see what we end up with. Choosing our target. All right. So we've got Proteus again. Double Gillenbursty gives a really strong healing option. Lady of the Lake is sort of a selective mono blocker. A little bit too random for my liking, but with this many emblems, it makes sense to use her when I've got her. Just recently, I've gained a bunch of high quality sorcerers, and it's making some tough decisions about who to use them on. So I'm hoping to get Krampus this Christmas. I'm saving a full set of emblems and scopes for that just in case. I'm not going to go crazy because it's not really that worth it, but I've got a bunch of Epic Hero tokens saved up from the last year. So if I don't get him, then I'll probably use those Sorcerer emblems on Cristobal, but if I happen to get another Lepiota, I might make a tough decision with Lady of the Lake here and take those emblems away. Because while I do like her, having only 3 of those minions isn't reliable enough that she can just be that counter. So I've got my ailment protection with Emilio. I've got a bunch of healing. I've got Proteus. If anything, we're soft on damage, but the Gullenbursty twins make up for that because their damage output is actually quite good. So lots of purples, but the question is how to make them with the least amount of impact on Alfrikes. So I'm going for the minions first, just to kind of chip away at the mana they're gaining. I don't need to stop them every turn, but if I can take some of that mana away, then that's great. You can see that's exactly how it can go wrong. And we've got 4 people hit again, and only 1 minion survived. So that's a perfect example of how Lady of the Lake can be less than what you really need. I'm looking for a way to set up those greens over there, I think. Yep, another cascade. Might have been able to see that coming. And then we've got Costume Justice doing her base damage, but 250% is still a lot to a team that's crippled, as mine is right now. So that's going to mean Proteus is dead, Alfrike going off again. So without any revive here, things are looking pretty bad. I don't think I played this one super well, but I also didn't have a lot to work with. I think maybe I could have played it a little bit better, but definitely from the start, I was in a pretty shitty spot. And now we're just getting picked away. So this one ended pretty darn fast. So I think from here on out, I end up with solid hits. But had a couple defeating losses. That's just the way that rush attack can go. That's not news to anybody. So here's another team. Again, trying to go all Alfrike to help out the team if I can. Not that those 2 failed hits did a lot to help out, but... Okay, so I like these 2 together in rush because a ghosted match is a guaranteed kill. Choosing a good healer. And then now getting to the point of things are getting a little slim here. What do I have left? And let me be a little more strategic about what I'm going up against. And I'm trying to bring colors that I haven't already brought to give myself, with Alfrike, you can't afford to, if you get a bad starting board, you can't afford to make a new one. You just don't have the time. So you need to be able to work with whatever starting board you get and to be able to do something with that. So I seem to remember this team selection process taking a little bit longer. And I think I remember now that I saw this as my Vanda team. I remember this being a pretty exciting hit. So my thinking there is just ailment protection. I've now got a counter in red. So if I get greens, I can just kill Alfrike right away. I'm probably going to add a Proteus onto this team. I've got a healer. Not the best team. I think I need to get a little bit more disciplined with what my rush attack teams are going to be, because I think sometimes deciding in the moment, you can make some decisions that aren't the best. So looking at this, I'm like, this team is not fantastic, but my thinking with Hannah is... they do have healing with Heimdall, but the attack down can buy you a little bit of time, so figured, what the hell, we'll throw her on there. But I think I change it actually right now. Yeah, I'm like, Proteus. Let's go to Proteus. Going way down to find him. Okay, that's better. So, opening board. Saw my 2 greens, so I decided to seize that moment. Not going to even waste any time because I know, boom, Alfrike's dead. Got a reviver, and I've also got attack down to the more threatening sniper on the board. So a great start. Those 2 together are quite nice. You'd think, and it's always been the common way of thinking about it, that heroes that impact the most heroes are better, like Frigg versus Kingston. And that's often true, but there's something about 2 heroes being able to just instantly kill another hero that has a lot of utility. These 2 heroes are part of my green team, and that's one of my favorite teams. So they're quite good together. So I want to get rid of the reviver now. Probably going to set off Scotty while she still has the attack down. And I might as well do a little damage with Vanda. Or am I trying to set off Geffion? Interesting. Watching this now, again, I would totally make those reds into Scotty just to get her hit out of the way. But I think, I want to see if I can set off Geffion. Terrible choice. I don't know why I did that. That was a bad call. Scotty still has the attack down though, so maybe not so bad. I'm not sure why. Oh, those were two separate times. Gefjon had it from before, and Scotty had it from when I killed Heimdall, so maybe not the worst decision in retrospect. All right, so now I've lost part of my 1-2 punch. I've definitely got them down to the wire here. Health steal doesn't matter, but it's just Vanda doing a little bit of damage every turn. 150% or something like that. 100 at a time. So if I can kill, what's his name? Poseidon, then I'm in good shape. So I opted for Scotty again to knock the attack down because now I have lost an ally, which makes her a little bit stronger. Crazy combo of reds into Scotty, and the revived. Oh, interesting. If they are technically dead but about to revive when I forget what family it is, but Scotty and Loki, how they give a minion when they die. Poseidon did not get the minion. All right, so we're all done. You can see our final score there. We had some great scores, and a lot of us were in the top 20 compared to them. So looking through our defense here, I think the first one was a one-shot from my recollection. There we go, one shot right away. Boo. I'll show you my team in a second here too. All right, then there's one hit and second hit. So far we're at 3 hits for 2 kills. And what do we got here next? Another one shot, and that was it. So very surprised. This is the defense team I was running. We got Mother North, Black Knight, Alfrike, Mickey, Heimdall. So I don't know if if Leidenbrock is better there instead of Mickey. I've faced Mickey in Rush, and it was brutal. So, yeah. I don't know what I was doing here, showing again. Oh, I was looking at my hits to see. Oh, yeah, I got 4 one-shots, 2 failed hits. So not bad. That's it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.